You're part of a generation that learned to raise itself, and now you're paying for it in ways nobody's talking about. If you were born between 1965 and 1980, the world taught you one lesson louder than anything else. Nobody's coming. Not your parents, not the government, not your boss, just you. You wore that lesson like armor. It made you competent, adaptable, quietly dangerous in a boardroom. But the same armor is now the reason you feel tired at 2 p.m., disconnected from your spouse, and strangely invisible in a world that won't stop talking about boomers and millennials. Here's what nobody explains about Gen X psychology. The traits that saved you as a kid are sabotaging you as an adult. You didn't break, you adapted. And until you see the pattern, you can't break out of it. Let me show you exactly what's happening. I've spent years studying the research on generational psychology, the Latchkey kid studies, the sandwich generation data, the burnout surveys, the attachment research. The picture for Gen X is clearer than anyone admits publicly. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Some of it will sting. Good. The sting is the signal. Here are 5 psychological truths about Gen X that explain almost everything you feel but can't name. Why you can't ask for help. Why you trust no one. Why you feel invisible. And exactly what to do about all of it. Start here. Section 1. You were raised by absence. You came home to empty houses. You warmed up your own dinner. You learned to read adult moods before you could read chapter books. Most Gen X kids spent more unsupervised hours than any generation before them or since. Psychologists call this the Latchkey effect. A huge share of Gen X kids were regularly alone after school because both parents worked and divorce rates hit record highs. Your nervous system learned early that safety meant handling things yourself. Asking for help felt like a luxury other kids had. That shaped you. It made you capable at 10 years old in ways that looked like maturity. It also wired your brain to link needing someone with danger, with disappointment, with being let down. Now you're 45, and your partner wonders why you won't tell them when you're struggling. Your kids wonder why you never seem to need anything. You wonder why connection feels foreign. This week, practice one sentence. Just one. I need help with this. Say it to your partner. Say it to a friend. Say it before you need it urgently. Your nervous system has to relearn that asking doesn't cost you anything. Section 2. Your cynicism has a price. You watched Watergate replayed on every History Channel. You saw the Challenger explode during class. You grew up hearing the American dream is dead before you could vote. So you became skeptical. Smart, skeptical. You read the fine print. You assume the press release is a lie. You trust institutions less than any generation in modern history, and the data actually validates you. But here's the catch. Cynicism protects you from disappointment by pre-disappointing you. It's a tax you pay every day to avoid a possible loss later. Research on cynical hostility shows a direct link to heart disease, depression, and shortened lifespan. Your armor is literally expensive. The goal isn't to become naive. You earned your skepticism. The goal is to aim it precisely at systems, not at people. Pick one person in your life you've kept at arm's length. A friend, a sibling, a coworker. This week, extend real trust. Share one honest thing that matters to you. Not a complaint, not a joke. One genuine thing. Watch what happens. You may be surprised by who's actually there. Section 3. Self-reliance became your prison. You built your career on not needing anyone. You don't ask your boss for mentorship. You don't ask your friends for favors. You'd rather drive 4 hours than borrow a car. You call it independence. It's isolation with better branding. Research on adult attachment shows something uncomfortable. People who pride themselves on not needing others score highest on loneliness scales. While insisting they're fine, psychologists call it dismissive attachment. You didn't choose it. The world trained it into you before you could object. The brutal truth? Self-reliance at the level Gen X practices, it isn't strength. It's a childhood coping strategy you never got to retire. Strong adults don't do everything alone. Strong adults build networks, ask clearly, and let themselves be seen. Make a short list this week. 3 things you've been handling alone that you don't have to. A project, a health issue, a grief you haven't named. Pick one and bring in one other person. A friend, a therapist, a professional. Not because you can't do it alone. Because doing it alone is no longer the win you think it is. Section 4. You feel invisible for a reason. Every demographic study confirms what you already sense. Gen X is the smallest generation alive in the workforce. You get skipped in media coverage, marketing campaigns, and workplace initiatives. Millennials get the think pieces. Boomers get the political attention. You get a shrug. And the strange part? A piece of you doesn't mind. That piece learned long ago that invisibility is safer than scrutiny. When nobody's watching, nobody can disappoint you, and you can't fail publicly. You made peace with the shadows. But there's a cost. When you stop expecting to be seen, you stop advocating for yourself. You stop negotiating your salary. You stop telling your partner what you actually want. You perform quiet competence while starving for recognition you'll never request. This week, claim one thing. Nothing performative. Send one email asking for the raise, the credit, or the acknowledgement you've earned. Tell your partner one specific thing you need more of. Break the pattern of quiet endurance. You learn to disappear. You don't have to keep doing it. Section 5. The armor is eating you. You grew up on walk it off. Don't cry. You're fine. Emotion was weakness in your childhood home. And you became a master at stuffing it down, locking it up, and getting on with the day. That strategy works. For a while. But emotional suppression doesn't delete feelings. It files them somewhere worse. Research on emotional avoidance ranks it as one of the strongest predictors of midlife anxiety, depression, substance use, and relationship breakdown. Your body keeps the ledger whether you read it or not. Most Gen Xers hit their 40s and suddenly wonder why they feel flat. Why things that used to excite them don't. Why they snap at their kids over nothing. The armor that protected you at 8 is suffocating you at 48. You don't have to become someone who cries on command. You have to let feelings move through you instead of getting trapped inside. 10 minutes a day. Write down what you actually feel, not what you think, what you feel. No editing, no fixing, just naming. Do it for a month. The flatness you've been living inside will start to lift. Here's what nobody told you. The psychology of Gen X isn't a personality. It's a survival script written when you were too young to write your own. The independence, the cynicism, the invisibility, the armor, none of it is who you are. It's who you had to. Come to get through a childhood that asked too much too early. You're allowed to lay it down now. Ask for help before you break. Aim your skepticism at systems, not people. Let one person in this week. Claim what you need out loud. Write down what you actually feel. You raised yourself once. You don't have to keep doing it alone. If this name's something you've been carrying for years, you already know someone in your life who needs to hear it too. Send it to them. And if you want more videos that speak to the generation everyone forgets, subscribe. Drop one word in the comments that describes what it feels like to be Gen X right now. I read every single one.